how long have you had your Steam Deck for? I presume since like the first batch.
So the first one they sent me was a couple weeks before it released to the public.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because I was one of the first 100, I think they said it was, people that they sent it out to.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is actually my second one, because this was the replacement for the review unit that I snapped the SD card in and had the bad fan.
Right.
And then my other one was my personal one, so the one that I bought, because I kept my reservation, which I think is really a good review of it, is the fact that they sent me a review unit, I could keep it, I still kept my own in line to buy it again. What more a review do you want? I bought one even though I already had one. I've got no need for the other one.
What could you use it for?
Actually, that's a lie. I've got the I don't know how you say this actually. Jesus. How do you say this? All right, how do you pronounce that?
Wait,
it might be backwards for you.
Let's say JSA. What?
JSAUX. Jesus. I don't know, but
I would just say JSAUX. I don't know.
Yeah,
don't ask me. I'm an Australian. I don't know English.
Well, I don't think they're English. They might be. I think they're French or something like that.
I definitely don't know.
Yeah, well, they've started doing a dock.
Mm-hmm.
So Valve was supposed to do their own official dock where you can plug it in and then put it to a TV, but that's been delayed. So they're one of many companies who are now doing their own. So actually, my review unit is usually plugged into my TV downstairs, and it works surprisingly well on like a 50-inch TV. I will admit. Performance at 1080p and 4K is not amazing, but lower the resolution for what it was designed to, and you get a pretty good experience when it's docked as well.
These are not docks. Okay, this is a terrible article. I look up Steam Deck dock. Oh, here we go. 5 things down, it shows me the first dock. The rest of them are like, hey, here's a. Okay, it says dock. What it is a what do you call them? Like a.
It's not one of these, is it?
It's literally that. Yeah.
That's not a dock. It's a hub.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you.
Yeah, but you can get loads of those for like, I don't know, like $15, $20 or pounds off of Amazon. And the one that I showed there, I did pretty much all of my recording with until Jesus, whatever, sent me the dock. Yeah. But yeah, you can. Yeah, it's fine.
So if now that you've had this hands-on with the Steam Deck, if you were to if you had a direct line to Valve and you're like, these are the things that I want to see change with this second version of the Steam Deck, not software things, those can be updated as we go, but anything that you think is fundamentally wrong about the way the Steam Deck is currently designed.
Well, the SD card slot, move it so we don't snap it, obviously. But most other things are pretty good, though. I mean, it's got a good weight to it. I'm gonna throw it. No, don't do that.
Well, you got another one.
I don't want to break it though. It's my baby.
How are the ergonomics with your hand? I know that some people were concerned with the size of it.
Right. This is kind of one of the things that bug me. So a lot of people have talked about how big it is, and yes, it is big. It's bigger than the Switch, and well, there's no getting around the size of it. But I mean, my hands are tiny. I mean, you can see, but I have no trouble reaching anything.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's got. You can see the buttons on the back as well. The way you hold it, you just tap them. It's really easy.
Well, they're massive buttons, so you can kind of pretty much hit them wherever.
Yeah, it's the buttons on the back are really good as well, because they've designed them in a way that they've got just enough pressure on them so that you won't tap them accidentally, which is nice. And so the shoulder buttons, you don't need to put your fingers right across it. You can just tap the corners.
Okay.
So when you're like that, you just tap it. Yeah.
Right. So if you had, if you had larger hands, you'd go more of a round grip. But if you with the small hand, you can sort of like push the edges up and still get it just fine.
Yeah, so you can.
I see.
Let's see. You can go all the way along and click it in, but for me with small hands, you literally tap the corner and it clicks in.
Okay.
And it's honestly for small hands or big hands, it's fine. I mean, my 10-year-old has smaller hands than me, and he has no issue with it either. So
okay, it's no excuse then.
So people complaining about it, I don't know what they're on about.
I think a lot of the I haven't heard any complaints recently. I think the complaints were mainly just based on the early looks at it and the early reviews. I think now that people have their hands on it, I for sure haven't heard anything. Maybe you've heard differently, but
Well, I think a lot of people were just kind of more surprised about the size and weight to it, because yes, it is big, and yes, you can feel the weight to it, but they designed it in such a clear way that holding it actually feels really nice. Like the Switch is really thin all the way through. It's really thin, and so you are like weirdly clamming onto it. But the Steam Deck has, the nice rounded bits on it, so your hands hug it quite nicely. But there was one reviewer out there who did a video, and they basically coined the term deck neck, because you're sat there like this, a lot of the time you're like staring down at it, and then you're like, oh, which is kind of a problem. Although if I'm on the sofa, I just get a cushion on me, and I'm just sat there like that, and it's fine. It's all about finding your comfort zone to play with it, I think. But then there's also people I know already that are using it as a full-blown 100% computer. There's one person in our Discord who has it hooked up as their main computer now, to a monitor, a keyboard, and everything. And the Steam Deck is amazingly versatile.